Black Sabbath's Sabotage is considered by many to be the final classic album from the early years. This one came out in 1975, and the artwork is really bizarre. A lot of people absolutely hate it, but believe it or not, I don't mind it. I think it's kind of colorful. It shows the band in front of a mirror, and they didn't think this would be the final take for the artwork. They thought this would be like a publicity shot or something. And they all look weird, like Ozzy's naked in a robe, and Bill Ward's wearing red pants, and everyone just looks really stupid, but I think it's actually not that bad of an artwork. Another interesting detail is that this album was called Sabotage because the band felt a lot of people were trying to sabotage them during this time. And it kind of makes sense why they went over the edge after this album. Their past management before this album was screwing them over all the time and pretty much stealing their money every corner they could. So they fired them, and then they started suing Black Sabbath and everything, and it was getting really chaotic. They were losing money, and they were having a really hard time trying to get studio recording time, and Iommi was getting pissed off of writing the bulk of the music. Geezer was getting pissed off writing the bulk of the lyrics. This is almost like the melting point of the band. Bill Ward's drumming's insane, and there's some sort of weird backwards cymbal smash that he does. You can tell his drumming's making a very vast improvement. The kit sounds a lot better, and overall his drums sound great too, without a doubt. And Geezer Butler's bass playing is really good, but not as adventurous. Iommi's riffs are really, really great and diverse on this one. Absolutely crazy. There's amazing solos and really good writing from him. Ozzy even helps a lot with this album. His vocal delivery is arguably the best he's ever given, maybe the most difficult and most passion he's ever given to, because you could argue his best sounding time was probably maybe Paranoid. But on this one, he's giving incredibly harsh and almost Sarazawa style, from like Exodus style vocals that would inspire a lot of that thrash area. Like you have the kind of more Hetfield vocals, which are more gruff and stuff, like Chuck Billy as well, and then you have like the high pitched ones, like Dr. Fuck, Ralph Ira sings like that as well. But probably my biggest problem with this album, though, is that there's incredible moments that could have been the potential for like the best Black Sabbath album. But there's some weak moments here and there. Starting with the great heavy track Hole in the Sky. This one is really confusing what it's about. It's all over the place, but riff-wise and songwriting-wise, it's heavy as hell. The drumming is really, really cool in this one. Ozzy gives his incredibly powerful vocal performance. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, he sounds a bit auto-tuned and weird and had weird vocal editing. But with this, it sounds like pure Ozzy right here, and it is very glorious. The chorus is really great too. Ozzy sings so freaking harshly, and there's some cool keyboardy and other additions to the sound of this album. Hole in the Sky gets a 5 out of 5, a classic Black Sabbath song. Then we have Don't Start Too Late, which is like a 30-second little guitar thing, like acoustic guitar thing from Iommi that bleeds right into the amazing, amazing, amazing thrashy Symptom of the Universe. Many thrash bands state this as the very first thrash metal song. This one is heavy as hell, and I was never a big fan of it at first, believe it or not. I always thought the riff kind of sounded stupid. The drumming is very cool and mid-pace. There's a lot of cymbal smashing in there. It sounds really great. And I love the incredible fills that Ward does. Although I'm not a huge fan of the way Ozzy sings on, he kind of just sings this highs and highs and highs and highs throughout the entire song, and it kind of doesn't let you go. There's great parts all over the place, and then all of a sudden, apparently this whole part, which I'm about to talk about, is improvised, and all of a sudden it becomes really soft, and they have all these acoustic guitars and sweet sounding stuff here and there. And apparently they don't play this part live. I love the way Ozzy sings in this part. It sounds really great. His highs and strong vocal delivery really works with this song. I deem this whole part, though, Woman and Child of Love's Creation, because whenever he says that to me, it just sounds so cool, and it really gets me into this part. And this is, believe it or not, my favorite part of the whole song. Symptom of the Universe, another 5 out of 5, and there's amazing soloing in there too. Absolutely amazing performance from everyone. And rounding off the first half of the album, we have the fucking amazing, and easily the best song off the album, Epic, Megalomania. And Megalomania is about people that think they're gods or like above everyone else. You could argue that Sharon Osbourne is a megalomaniac. This song has a lot of different sections to it. I'd say it's about like 3 minutes of one song, and then 6 minutes of another almost. The first movement is very, very, very creepy and eerie, and you can still hear that they have that dark magic to them. The lyrics are really creepy, and the weird echoey buildups from Ozzy are really funny. And then it goes into that awesome chorus where everything gets heavy and it has that almost breaking point sound to it where everything is gone chaotic. And it kind of goes into this weird part where Ozzy's singing monotone-esque. Then it does that whole thing I just described again. And then we get into this heavy as hell riff that drives for 6 minutes straight almost. It's grooving all the way through. The drumming is insane and fast as hell. It feels like you're going on a roller coaster ride of insanity on this part. Lyrics are even better in this section. Ozzy sings even better. I love the parts where Ozzy says shit at the end of the section where you can hear the cowbell in there. He says, "Suck me!" The soloing and keyboard parts at the end are amazing, amazing too. There's all these little nuances in the song too, which makes it easily the most diverse and best song in the entire album. Megalomania, duh, 5 out of 5. Then we get to somewhat one of the weaker songs, Thrill of It All. I was never a huge fan of this one. I'm starting to get into it more. It has like this really great intro that's really cool, but then it gets into the main part, which I'm not a big fan of. It's a lot of plodding and monotonous rhythm, and Ozzy kind of sings in a kind of boring way. But this part just feels very empty to begin with, so it's hard to try to make that sound interesting. Then the song picks up about halfway through again. It gets heavy as hell and awesome. Very, very progressive too. There's riffs all over the place, and the solo from Iommi is top notch. Thrill of It All gets a 4.25 out of 5. Then we get to another instrumental. This album has 8 tracks and 2 instrumentals. Great song here. They have choirs sing during the chorus in this one. It's really cool, and they kind of have the same riff structure go twice throughout the song. It's a bit like Fluff too in a way, and this and Fluff are easily the best Black Sabbath instrumentals ever. The riffs in this are classic and epic as hell. The song is just so epic with the riffs and the choir that they open their shows with this almost all the time. Another great memorable track, 5 out of 5. And then Am I Going Insane, in parentheses, radio. A lot of people think this is supposed to be like the radio edit, but it means radio rental, which is slang for mental or something. I don't know how they would come up with that. It's just stupid. But it's an alright song. It sounds very cheesy at first, and the way Ozzy sings during the verses, it sounds almost like a school musical the way he sings. It's very cheesy sounding. But hey, it's kind of classic for that. It's a weird song. It's a very stonery, disjointed song, but I like it because of that. The chorus is nice, and all the song parts are really great too, and it gets a bit better later on. But overall, it's a very good song, but not too great. Then we have The Writ, which is kind of a weird song. You just hear at the end of Am I Going Insane, you hear these laughs like ha 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 ha. Like, oh shit, what am I in for here? And then it's quiet for like a straight minute. You're just looking at your iPod like, what the fuck is going on here? Is this just ambient noise? And then all of a sudden the song explodes with lyrics done by Ozzy about how they were getting ripped off at the time, being sabotaged, basically almost like the title track of the album. It's a longer song as well, and it's heavy as hell. The riffs are great. Ozzy, incredible vocal performance. Him and Tony are easily the things that shine throughout this whole song. Not just the riffs, but Ozzy is so damn good on this song. Now, I think Ozzy sucks at a lot of points in time, and a lot of people think he's like completely horrible, but you have to admit, his vocal performance in early Sabbath, especially on The Writ, is amazing. It's very slow, but Ozzy just makes it so fucking awesome. A song like this could be boring, but the riff and the vocals are just amazing. 5 out of 5. It just gets awesomer and awesomer. Although I will critique that I'm not a big fan of the long, drawn-out silence. But hey, it's alright. And it gets really heavy and weird and progressive at the end as well. And then there's this hidden track on some versions called Blow the Jug, where you hear Ozzy and Bill playing piano and singing weird. Yeah, it's fucking weird. It was the producers that threw it on the album as a joke, so that's kind of weird. If I were to rate it, I'd give it a 1 out of 5. It's really stupid, but it's not supposed to be, nor is it really on the album, so I can't count it. You guys should definitely check this one out. It's easily one of my favorite from the Ozzy era. Probably 4th favorite, but that's really saying something, because there's so much amazing stuff from this era to begin with.